What's going on, guys? It's Chandler here at the channel, coming back to you guys again today with another video. Today, a long awaited video that I've been waiting quite a bit of time to put out because I want to make sure I got it right, and that is going to be the review of my H&K VP9 as well as a little bit of an update on the build that I've done. Of course, we're clear. First things first, if you've been with the channel here for a while, you'll recognize this gun. This VP9 has been one of my favorite firearms since I got it just about late 2019. Now then, of course, it was just a regular VP9 and I've had some work done to it. But for the most part, other than a little bit of cosmetics that you see, it is basically just a stock VP9. For starters here, we will do a quick update on the build. The only thing that's really changed on this firearm since the previous build is the light. Of course, that was a point of conversation for a lot of people, and I got a light recommendation from Mac, and that is the TLR1HL, and I really like this light. It's a great light. We haven't done a review on it yet because we haven't done a lot of night shooting. However, just in what I've seen playing around with it here at the house at night, it does do an excellent job. Other than that light replacement, everything else on this has stayed the same. But now we will jump right into the review. If you're not aware, the HK VP9 is HK's take on the striker-fired pistol. This is their answer to the Glock 19, Glock 17 competition of pistols. The regular VP9 sits right in between probably a Glock 19, Glock 17 size. And that being said, the slide length is probably more the size of a Glock 19, but the grip length is more along the size of a Glock 17. Originally when I bought this, the magazines for the VP9 held 15 rounds, and mine still does. However, the new VP9s that are coming out do come with 17 round magazines from the factory. The owners of the VP9 always complained about having those 2 extra rounds when the grip was roughly the same size as a Glock 17. And I was in agreement of it. However, I like the VP9 so much that in sacrificing those 2 extra rounds in the main magazine, I carried a +5 with me. But now, they sell the 17 round OEM magazines as well as conversion kits for these 15 round magazines, so you do not have to buy full magazine replacements. Other features around the gun obviously are it is ambidextrous. My model is, this is just the standard VP9, not the VP9B. So it does have the paddle mag release as opposed to the button. I don't mind this, I like it quite a bit. I can usually use my trigger finger or my middle finger to actuate that. It takes some getting used to, yes, but I do like it a lot. The slide release is ambidextrous as well, so you have one on the right side of the pistol and the left side of the pistol. So from there, you can actuate from the opposite side. On the back here, you have these 2 charge assisting tabs. Some people like them, some people don't. I may be taking these off here soon to replace them with an insert that makes it flush with the gun. When I got the VP9, it came in 2 different options, a night sight version or a non-night sight version. The VP9s now, I think you can get in illuminated sights, night sights, or optics ready. And that's gonna be basically all the features on this gun except for one thing. If you take the magazine and slam the magazine home, and you do that with enough force, then the VP9 will automatically shut the slide for you. Again, not a necessity, but really cool just to have, and that way it kind of streamlines your whole reload. Next we're going to go over is ergonomics, and to me the VP9 is second to none in this category. Everything on the pistol was really designed for a purpose, even back to the little charge assistant handles that some people really don't like. Starting from ergonomics at the front of the gun, it does have stock slide serrations at the front. All that's really been done is I milled a optic footprint, that's it, and then got it re-cerakoted, and then that is done. The rest of the slide is completely stock. So these front cocking serrations placed in the right place, great just to put your hand over the slide here and easy press checks, or even, you know, charging the slide from the front, releasing the slide from the front, moving backwards along the slide. You've got the charging assists here. Personally, when I had the VP9 with no modifications, no optic, nothing of the nature, I did use them and they did make it much easier to charge the firearm, especially in wet weather and things like that. Those combined with the rear serrations. However, now these kind of just get in the way because the optic's there, and I find myself more often using the front serrations or using the red dot. Moving down on from that, we have probably the most modular and ergonomic place on the pistol, and that is the grip panels. Now, I have a Talon grip over top of the grip panels, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the other ones over here and then we can take a look at them. So guys, as you can see with the VP9, it comes with 3 different back straps, small, medium, large, and 3 sets of side panels, small, medium, large. So you can have a large panel on one side, a large panel on both sides, a medium on one side, a small on the other side. You get the picture. And actually how I've got it set up right now on this VP9 is I have small side straps and the medium back strap on there set up currently to fit my hand. It is very customizable down in the pistol grip that you can customize to any size hand that you want to fit yours perfectly. The reason I put this Talon grip over top of my grip panels is because the pattern on the VP9 panels, while good, is not enough stippling for my liking, so I put a Talon sandpaper grip over, so that way when I use it, I've got a nice grip and that sucker's not going anywhere despite how wet your hands get. Now we will move on to probably one of the best things about this pistol, and that is the trigger. The trigger on the VP9 is nothing short of amazing. It's got a nice take up with no mush, a solid wall, and a great break. One of the best triggers that I've had in a pistol other than a 1911. That is probably the only pistol that I've shot that has a better trigger than this VP9. So props to HK for getting that right for a absolutely great trigger on a striker fired pistol. I know compared to my 365, this knocks it out of the park every single time. 365 is not bad, but it's nothing compared to this. Now we'll move on to reliability, and again, this pistol really shines in that department. Now the 2 years I've had that, I've shot just about every single type of ammunition through it. Reloaded range ammo, regular FMJ, defense rounds, brass case, aluminum case, even some steel case, which I know some of you HK fanboys are really gonna love that. So even including all those different types of ammos through the 2+ years that I've had this, I believe I can only recall that I have had one malfunction out of this pistol. And I believe that malfunction was down to the ammunition anyway. That was a failure to feed with some steel case Winchester one time. And if you've ever had the steel case Winchester, that's pretty nasty stuff. I've never had a failure to extract, like primer strikes, anything like that. I've only just had that one failure to feed on some really nasty ammo. So overall, in terms of reliability, I don't have a round count on it, but if you look out there and see the round counts for channels that have ammo sponsorships that can afford to put all those rounds through it at one time, they say the reliability is fantastic, and in my experience, it is. So now we're going to go to the last point that I have for this video in terms of this review, and it's going to relate to if you should buy it or not, and that's value. The VP9 has always been a higher priced pistol, and HK usually doesn't price anything in a budget range when you consider it. When I bought my VP9, a new VP9 at the time would cost $680 to $700, and that was with the illuminated sights on the regular VP9, not night sights, and that came with 2 magazines. I remember the night sight VP9 version was $770 to $800 for 3 mags and night sights. So now they come in the optics ready and not optics ready version. You can get the non-optics ready for under $700 still. The optics ready version, which is basically like an MOS plate, which does not come with the plates to mount. You have to buy those separate, so keep that in mind. They'll run you between $725 to $800. So when I bought my VP9, optics ready wasn't an option. To give you the story on mine, I bought this VP9 stock at a local gun store for about $400. So I got really lucky. I traded in a Glock 23 for it as well, so but all in, once I traded it in, it was about $400, around that mark, maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna compare that to, after doing the work that I needed to do on it to get it to an optics ready standard, that's the prices I'm gonna compare. So I bought it for $400, and then I did an optics cut at Mod 1 Firearms. That optics cut was $125 and an extra $50 for the Cerakote. So we're at $175 finished and ready for optic mounting. But in order to get my sights to fit the red dot that I was going to be using it for, I needed to buy some suppressor height sights, and I bought night sights. These are Trijicon Bright Tough sights for the VP9 to raise it up to co-witness with the red dot. Those sights were just under $100, but for simplicity, we'll say $100. So you're at $275 plus $400 for the pistol. So you're at $675 optic ready with nothing mounted on it yet. A VP9 optics ready is $750 to $800. But to put into perspective, a Glock MOS, a Glock 19 MOS, which would be the most similar to VP9, can run you about $650 to $750, so we're gonna say on average $700. Considering what I put in this from used is comparable to a new Glock MOS, Glock 19 MOS, Gen 5, it's really gonna be up to you depending on what you want. What I would recommend is go to a local range, test out multiple of these, like test out the Glock 19, test out the VP9, figure out what your hand likes the most and go from there. Really, I love the VP9, however, if it doesn't fit your hand, there's really no point in spending the money. If it fits your hand, your value of it may be a little bit different than somebody else's. Because when you hear it, you know, spending $700 to $800 on a pistol is quite a bit, considering you can still get a Glock for around $500 new. Of course, MOS costs a little bit more, things like that. So you really just need to find your spot, what you're comfortable with, and figure out what you need and what fits your hand the best. But in terms of the handgun itself, to me, in my situation, the value's a no-brainer. But now with optic ready options, it really does open the door to a lot. The optics ready option almost gives you a lot more value for money than not if you want to put optics on it anyway. But overall, on this HK VP9, in my eyes, you cannot go wrong with getting one of these pistols. Even used, like I bought mine and did everything I've done to it, and for 2.5 years, it's been nothing but fantastic. I love the pistol a lot. It's loaded with features. Its ergonomics are second to none. The trigger is one of the best of striker fires that you can find. The reliability is there 100%. Again, 2.5 years and only one failure with really nasty ammo. And the value for me, at least right now, the optics ready version is a pretty decent value if you can get one for under $800 and it comes with 3 magazines and those night sights, because then you can mount an optic straight to it. However, at the end of the day, the value that you put on this pistol is going to be up to how well it suits you. So always test out everything before you buy it, because there are some gun shops that have ranges that you can go out and rent them at to check. All in all, in terms of the pistol itself, I wouldn't change anything that I've done. I wouldn't change any of the decisions I've made. That would only come down to the flashlight that I bought originally to put on it. So that is gonna be it for this video, guys. If you like content like this, let us know in the comment section down below, and let us know what you think of the VP9. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. It's getting warmer out, about springtime, and we're going to be trying to make a trip down to the range here soon to bring more content to you guys. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments and we will get back to them as soon as we can. We try to answer every single one of those comments for you guys. Once again, this has been Chandler with Range Day, where every day is range day. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.